Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. On behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you have joined us for our Clean Energy Metals Conference. Our next presentation is from Graphene Manufacturing Group. Please note you may submit questions for the presenter in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for a one-on-one meeting by clicking Book a Meeting in the top toolbar. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Craig Nickel, Founder, Managing Director, and Chief Executive Officer of Graphene Manufacturing Group, which trades on the OTCQX Best Market under the symbol GMGMF, and on the TSXV under the symbol GMG. Welcome, Craig.
Hi, and thanks for the welcome. I'm going to go through the presentation now, and as was discussed, please leave any questions you'd like to ask, and I'll endeavour to get through them at the end of the presentation. GMG is now a 9-year-old Australian public company, as discussed, listed both on the TSXV and the OTCQX. Usual disclaimer for forward-looking statements for high-growth companies such as ours. The board for GMG is intentionally an Australian-American board, 2 Australians, 2 Americans. We see our natural end home in the Americas, both on the capital markets as well as operating projects. Jack Mikowski is the chair, New Jersey-based, who actually ran and built a very large manufacturing business in China after running a Wall Street bank for 20 years prior to that. Bob Gallion is one of the most knowledgeable battery people but certainly in North America, and one of them in the world. Both of those give us continual American focus, and with Andrew Small and myself also from Australia. The company itself makes, develops, and sells graphene products, which we make from natural gas. We have developed that process ourselves. The 4 products that we currently have developing, making, and selling are Thermal XR, which is a heat exchange coating, G lubricant, which is a engine oil additive, and a graphene aluminium-ion battery, which is in development phase, and Super G, which we have for graphene slurry additives for lithium-ion batteries, for improving lithium-ion batteries. Currently, we have 3 of these products in commercialization, and 1 product, the graphene aluminium-ion battery, which is in development phase. The aluminium-ion battery is a next-gen battery, which we're working with Rio Tinto, the Battery Innovation Centre of Indiana, and also with the University of Queensland. What is graphene? Graphene is described as often as a wonder product, but it has many different applications. We focus on ion storage, thermal conductivity, and enhanced lubrication. Our quality is such that these applications are the leading opportunities for it. Also, with my background in Shell for 20 years in many various different roles with a number of other parties of the company, also from Shell, the focus was on energy markets, and all of these 3 things, ion storage, thermal conductivity, and enhanced lubrication, are focused on obviously in the energy market space. How does graphene make its? How do we make our graphene? It's quite different to pretty much every other graphene producer out there. We produce it from natural gas through a pyrolysis, low cost and continuous, quite high quality grade. We've got the university verified a number of times now. Hydrogen and graphene are produced in a way which enables the product to be used into the applications that we've chosen. Each graphene has its own peculiarities, and there is no one graphene that's above all others. You need to develop a graphene that has the application in mind, and that's what we've done for each of our graphenes for the different products we make. The other way most people make graphene is through graphite and oxidizing it through a number of chemical reactions, and then in the end you end up with a very different product. It's called graphene oxide. So we have got a very different product compared to that. and the very different applications. And that shows in how the end game is around our products. We use them in very low percentage quantities. Here is an operation scheme for our existing plant. In the heat exchange coating system, we're only using it 2%. And in the lubricant, we ended up using only 0.01%. That goes to everything about our purity that you need to know. Super G is an additive, typically 1% for lithium-ion batteries that improves their rate tolerance. And the aluminium-ion battery, we have a battery development center where we're making our batteries every day. The heat exchange coating system, which we're blending every day to every other day these days, and then the G lubricant we're blending every day. These two are operational and in production, and we're building stock as well as for sales. We've just approved, actually some months ago, production expansion for 10 tonne per annum, and this enables us to go to the next level of, we believe, both in production and quality. It's a new reactor, new design, and obviously a pretty limited amount of capital, total of $2.6 million Aussie dollars for 10 tonne per annum. In the end, it's all about our ability to put that into applications. In the end, black powder is not easy to sell. That's why we've invented and developed these other products, and that's why we're now marketing those other products. We do not specifically look to make and sell our product, our graphene. We optimize it for our own use, so we can then get it into sales that we know it will work consistently. Let's talk about some of our products. So we've just launched G lubricant just earlier this year. It's an additive that has shown 8.4% in fuel savings, and then we've now seen 10% and even up to 13% fuel savings. It provides a greater lubrication in the boundary lubrication zones, and also makes the engine oil run cooler. Our additive is sitting at 1 in 100, and then the actual goes in at 1 in 100. So the actual graphene is at 1 in 10,000, or 0.01%. This is a very large market of liquid fuels efficiency, and we've launched this now. You can buy this product direct online. A number of sales already commencing, and we're now in the process of palletizing these products through third-party suppliers, and including 3PLs. We'll be launching this shortly, with this basically being available to be sold globally, approved to be sold around the world, except for in America, which we can talk about shortly. We've got to get an EPA approval for this. We'll then be able to, with a palletized product approach, which we've taken in the recent couple of months, we'll be able to distribute these packs in these designs, and really start to push our revenues up because of that, and distribute our products so that multiple people can be able to use them. Our Super G performance, our battery additive for lithium-ion batteries, has been documented by one of the world's leading universities in the UK, showing 2.5 times less resistance, very attractive properties, over normal conductive graphite that normally used in lithium-ion batteries. It has a number of good attractive parameters around it. I think you'll find that this will come out with more information on this shortly. We're doing a lot of testing ourselves on how this works in lithium-ion batteries. A number of very large companies were testing it this year after this particular performance was in Forbes at the end of last year. Our Thermal XR product is the most progressed. We have a number of industry awards, including the Singapore Green Building Product Award for 10% energy saving, administered by the Queensland government, the Singapore government, sorry. We've also got the data center awards from last year. We were a product award for the air conditioning industry as well in Australia. The focus for this is generally being the beachheads on air conditioning and refrigeration, but also you can see is electronics in LNG plants, data centers, refrigeration. The broad mix is good, is the opportunity, but also can serve as a very big distraction because you get so many different requests. The product has so many applications. It basically moves heat faster and stops corrosion, and that's needed in almost every type of metal that's above 35 degrees Celsius in the world, which is a lot. The applications for this are going to continue to be tested and progressed, but air conditioning is our main focus and refrigeration. Electronics has certainly progressed. Very quickly, we have this type of outcome. The thermal radiation around 8 watts per meter squared Kelvin is given by thermal XR, forced convection with a really fast fan, probably the fastest fan you can get up to about 30. It therefore does an amazing amount compared to a normal radiation of aluminium on air conditioning pipes, which is about 1. So it does about 8 times. So what you're seeing is the ability for it to radiate and move heat out of the condenser coil of the air conditioning system or wherever it is, air conditioning, refrigeration, data centers, electronics. And we'll come out shortly with a program which will show what it does with the fan off. We're working through that now so we can show how much the thermal XR product relates to switching off a fan. Now, we're actually also in a process of palletizing these products as well because we have a number of distributors who would like to sell this product as the paint. So we're progressing that as well, and we'll be coming out with launching that shortly as well. Here's just some examples of what it does. It basically shifts the heat transfer from the red line to the green line. And also currently we're at 15,000 hours or 20,000 hours of salt sea spray, which is one of the longest lasting resistant products in terms of coatings in the world for no corrosion so far. As it says, we got the Product of the Year award in the Australian air conditioning industry last year, and the largest air conditioning coating industry in the world by far is in America. It is a real thing there. In Australia and in other places, they're starting to understand that coatings are quite important. Coatings tend to be quite energy consuming because they become thicker and make worse for the air conditioning system to operate, whereas our coating actually makes it even better than without the coating. So that type of conversation has to happen, and we're starting to build a lot of traction in this space. We're waiting for an EPA approval to launch with our partners, New Calgon, which are basically the biggest distributors of air conditioning fluids in America, with 4,000 distribution points. We believe that this EPA approval will happen this year. We have got a full unlimited application, non-industry specific coding approval in the EPA, and it's gone through all the meetings that we see it needs to. I think there's one final meeting, and we should be seeing the ability to be able to sell in December. We see this as being a very large catalyst for revenues, even more so than the palletization of our products, given the build-up of demand over the last 2 years after we have launched this with New Calgon. There are a number of areas we see this working really well. There are very key states, California for energy reduction with very high energy costs, and Florida and Texas for corrosion resistance. Us having one of the longest lasting corrosion resistant coatings there are. We're working with New Calgon as a Coolwork brand powered by GMG Graphene. That is our go-to market strategy. We'll work with world leading companies, let them brand, and we'll dual brand on powered by GMG Graphene. You'll see that, you should see that more and more as we expand our product range, our reach with our distribution products as well. The intent is really to be similar to the Intel Inside type brand. And this is our biggest opportunity for this to show right now, but there will be more. On the graphene aluminum ion battery, which is often the question that people ask us about the most, we are in development phase for this. It's called Battery Development Phase 4. And as we discussed, we've got one of the preeminent battery experts in the world with us. And we're also got now one of the best battery innovation hubs or centers in the world, also with us with BIC Indiana. So Bob Galligan and BIC Indiana, both in Indiana, no coincidence. We're working through with them now, making a number of cells every week. The advantages are vast. For aluminium ion battery, we're working with Rio Tinto, one of the largest mining companies in the world, and they have a very intentional request for having to have a fast charging battery, and it being also a long life and safe battery as well. We have the ability to have a very robust, safe charging battery of anywhere up to 60 times faster. Generally, we're after about 10 times faster, so the battery charge in about 5 minutes. This enables for the large mining companies to be able to swap out the diesel in with a battery which can be filled in the same time that it takes. Right now, a lithium battery in these large trucks, although there's only a few of them, but when they do get charged with lithium, it can take over around 25 to 30 minutes. And the difference between 25 and 30 minutes compared to a 4 or 5 minute refuel time is immense. They might have to even double their fleet size, which smart operators just generally won't do without other issues managed. So this is the focus of the battery. But what is interesting is this we call a B2B battery is in general wanted by all planes, trains, and automobiles who operate in this fashion. They all want a fast charging battery, not necessarily the highest energy density battery. It's more around getting the battery charged and out again. And that's our focus. And that's where we continue to believe our battery has its strength. Here we are just showing you where we're at. We're at 4, which is where we're focusing on optimizing electrical chemical behavior. Because our battery is so robust and easy to make, we're using existing equipment to make it. We expect to progress from 5 through to 8 quite rapidly through mainly with the BIC. They'll have all the equipment or have all the equipment already to work with. Then we'll eventually have our own plant or work with people who have plants, because we can actually be used or be made in manufacturing plants that already make lithium-ion batteries. So the opportunity for the aluminium-ion battery is immense because it's blue ocean water. The battery in itself has an application which very few, if any, other batteries out right now actually can do. And hence the work we have is quite, there's a lot of interest from many companies under NDA in many different sectors. And hence why we continue to push this forward, and we continue to see great interest from companies about what this could do for their products or their processes. Very simply, we have a graphene cathode, a separator, and a foil anode, and aluminium salts. Very simple battery, very, very high power density, reasonable energy density, but the main thing is that the battery can be used and charged as and required. The scale-up process, we're currently at multi-layer pouch cell testing. We've taken it all the way from coin cell, made thousands of cells, and now we're into the pilot plant. We will be able to use the BIC to be able to, in Indiana, to be able to make our pilot plant A-type pouch cells, and that's really the key thing that we chose to work with them on this next stage, rather than spending what would be probably $20 million on building our own plant at this point. We have these weekly cell sprints, which we make and adjust these 10 areas And this is what you're doing during electrical optimization. We've made thousands of cells. We often make 4 or 5 of the same experiment. We make them, review them, and then go and propose them the next week. The fast charging focus of the battery enables us to do this. Lithium-ion batteries, you could not do this. And then this is our battery build-up plan. 2027, we aim to be pushing out in commercial scale. Just as a summary before we get into the questions, I can see there's quite a few come in. The financial maturity of the company is obviously the most important thing we're focused on. We've got technology now, we have patents coming through, we have market, we have brand, and operating focus of the business is to become a commercial operating business. There are many people in the business who've done this type of work before, myself included. And you know, this is our comfort zone, but we need to get the company there. We're going through a range of activities to be able to palletize our product and have the ability to make 4,000 of these on a number of pallets, perfectly labeled. We have 14 language labels, so they can be sold in any country in an international pallet size, so they can be sold internationally, domestically, and then they have to be stock allocated and being able to shipped wherever we're needed. All of those things, it's generally a whole business that's done, but that's what we're currently doing, adding on to our existing business. And that is in the progress. So we're very, very busy on that right now, which will take us into this next phase, which will provide us we think, significant revenue, because it enables distributors to make really good money, really good margin off our products. And then we can still retain significant revenue ourselves, profit ourselves. So the focus on us is to push through this operationalizing of this small packs. We have the new Calgon revenue switching on, which we believe will also be significant after the EPA approval. We have many large OEM manufacturers who are testing our products, and they're all pretty much the leaders in their field, in their industry. All the sectors we've talked about, we have companies from those sectors around the world testing our products in laboratories. They do take their time. They are big companies. We understand that. So we need to generate our own revenue through our own small packs, through our own other product sales, to be able to make sure that when these big guys come through, which is where a lot of the revenue we see will come, we will have all the wherewithal and to do that. We have just in the middle of a raise of over $6 million, and that was a bought deal which came quite fortuitously. It came on over email last week. We accepted it. We weren't planning on it, but we've accepted it because we need to build up stock for our palletized products. Palletized products, to be able to launch them globally, will take some funds, and that's what we thought we would take that on. The board accepted on that basis, so we're just in the process of completing that deal. The next phase of our company is to basically look for an uplisting in America, and that will, I think, give us a final home. And then we'll then continue to have operations here in Australia, but we'll look at operations in America, both graphene and end product applications. So that's the focus for this next 6 to 12 months. We all believe in the company very wholeheartedly that we will be a very different company in 6 months. The growth is phenomenal. The work is turning us into this every day, more and more of this commercial operation that we need to get to. The number of opportunities we have, it's never been where it's been. I can't tell you which one will take off first because there are so many to really talk through. We've got salespeople who are joining in different parts of the world. they are able to sell now, once we've finished all our palletized stock, which we should be by the end of the month of September. We will be able to now sell that very easily, price product, 14 language labels with high performance products. They'll then be able to join and build our sales team in a way which can fashion and scale out on the sales side. So that is the other part we've already started pushing, and we'll find ourselves in, I think, start to really change into a very different company over the next 6-12 months because of that as well. I might start the questions now. So that's the end of my detailed presentation. So I'll start back at the start. So, hi Craig, how does the purity of GMG's graphene compare to the Hydrograph's graphene? Has it ever been officially measured by an outside party? Yeah, so we've had our graphenes been measured by outside parties a number of times, many different universities around the world. Back in 2018, 2019, we've only improved it since then. We've always got raving reviews. It's a very difficult thing to work with graphene. It's extremely light and fluffy. The better it is, the harder it is to work with. It's a real dichotomy. And so you're probably talking to 100-200 companies in the world that could actually use graphene the way it's supposed to, or effectively. Hence, that's why we went and developed these other products and used it for ourselves, because we know how to mix it. And we can put it into batteries basically better than big battery companies. We know that now. We can put it into pretty much any material, because that's what we spent an enormous amount of time trying to help people do that. Excuse me. So, excuse me. So so the quality is interesting. What's fascinating are applications, and that's where the money's at. So I think in terms of purity, I'd suggest that we could, even in the future, because we have a production business as well as a graphene production business, we could even take some of theirs if it ended up being the right quality for what we need it to do. There are just so many different variations on what is quality, and then it needs to be consistent. Then it needs to have no oxygen, and then it needs to have the right planar and type of design to be able to do what we do with our products. So quality means so many things, and it's only really in the end for us, does it make the heat transfer, or does it smooth it? Does it take ions, or does it lubricate better? That's all quality for us means. So we've kind of gone beyond that. I hope I've answered that question. I could go on that forever. Literally 9 years of my life have been focused on quality of graphene. It's a very complex subject. Can we expect feedback from the BIC regarding Super G and TXR? That's absolutely what we're trying to do. That's the next question. We're very focused on that. It's just that they're so busy with the aluminium-ion batteries, and actually the work is going on so well with the aluminium-ion batteries, we haven't been able to get onto the Super G and the TXR. We have done some work with Super G, but we will be doing some. We will be working with TXR on battery packs where we'll actually be putting them in a boom room. I'm sure you can imagine what that is, where they put the lithium-ion battery in an explosive room where we'll have our coating and we'll show what we can do with our coating. It's a real opportunity for battery packs to take heat out and manage the risk. And this is for lithium-ion batteries, obviously. And obviously Super G, it's a real opportunity for including into lithium-ion batteries as well. Is Tesla testing your Super G for incorporation into their aluminium-ion battery? I can't really confirm who is testing, but the number of big companies are. I've seen a lot of companies, a lot of things about Tesla using an aluminium-ion battery as well. I've checked with a number of people. I don't think that it's real. I mean, Tesla can do whatever it wants. It may well be real, but I don't think they're running an aluminium-ion battery program. Otherwise, they would have had to have said it. But yeah, it's an interesting question. Yeah, it's. But I can't say that. I don't think from an outside point of view that Tesla is running an aluminium-ion program. If they do, great, because the more success, then more people will think aluminium-ion battery is an opportunity. And so I'm not against it. It's just there's a lot of stuff going on YouTube and questions and emails, and I don't know where it's coming from. What application is closest to large-scale sales for TXR? This is there's a range of things here. When we talk about aftermarket sales, you could be talking 10, 20, 30, 40,000 litres, in the next year. But when you have a manufacturer take it on, you're talking 100,000, 1 million litres a year, just in terms of one customer. So these are the kinds of conversations that are having in our head. How much do we push to 10 to 20, 30,000? And then the end application for that is millions of litres as you build millions of litres a year, as you build the market around the world. And people understand the coating has the opportunity to shift heat so well. But just one of these manufacturers, to bring it into the space, is so. Whilst we are working on, helping customers with their own aircon spraying and helping them getting and understand how it works, anything with the data center manufacturers that we're working with, or the electronics guys, or even automotive companies that we're working with, you can do some really big volumes with those guys, but they take years. So whilst we've got some opportunities which we're working on, obviously some very large opportunities coming in, we believe coming in with new Calgon, with American partnership there, with the aftermarket sales, the really large opportunities are large manufacturers, and that's who we're working with. And it takes a lot of time for them to really understand. We're basically complete disruption for air conditioning systems. We are pretty much doing everything that they have been taught that they shouldn't do. As in thermal radiation is good, and black is good, and painting is good. There's three things that they've been taught pretty much all their career that they shouldn't do, but then we show them, and that's what we're on. How expensive is the manufacturing of graphene batteries versus industry norms of lithium-ion batteries? Good question. I think you'll see over time that we will be competitive. I think, like anything, the supply chain has to be built to enable it to get to a size and scale that you get the automation. There are definite cost reductions or capital reductions because you don't have to have all of the lithium-ion battery equipment. We have a need for about 75% of it. We also won't have about 35 to 40% of the electricity to make them. We also won't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to charge them up. We generally can charge our batteries up in a couple of hours. So those are huge savings. But then you've got to compare it against the scale up of materials and getting these new materials into the fashion we need at scale. So whilst you'll have savings against the lithium-ion battery on 3 or 4 areas, you will need to build up those material scales, and that's where it'll be a balance. And then over time, those material scales will find ourselves, in a space where, you will be lower cost. Generally, it will be a lower cost battery to make, much simpler, much robust, lower capital cost, and materials less, how would I say? Yeah, less disruptive materials in terms of their strategic vulnerability, such as lithium is. So do you have any sales data or projections available today? I'd love to have that, to be able to give you that. I think we need to show you, our investors, what we can do in the next 6 to 12 months. And then I think after that, we'll start to have projections. As I said, I couldn't tell you out of all of the various different irons in the fire, which ones will come off over the next 6-12 months. Distribution of palletized stock, it's a highly profitable product for us in terms of its opportunity for gross revenue and gross margin. And I think that could be well and truly a category killer in most areas. We've got products that we don't really have a competitor in, but there are distribution channels that are set up, which we're going to piggyback through. So I think that's where we're going to see it, but we'll see in 6-12 months whether I'm right. There could be other products that make that, opportunities that really push harder than that in other markets. Is there a timeline to bring the battery to phase 8? Yes, we believe in the next 2 years. Will you be able to increase the battery's energy density to be more than just economic? Yes, we believe that's possible. The ability to do anywhere over up to 300 watt hours per kilogram is there. It is like everything in the battery world. It's step by step, but right now we really just need a fast charging economic energy density. Let me just see what else is there. Can you please give us some examples of where a low energy density fast charging battery can be used outside of Rio's project? Planes, trains, absolutely. Planes, totally. Be surprised what automotive brands would love to have one. Grid, emergency power systems, communication systems, so walkie-talkies, military. Fair say probably we've got more military companies or defense companies interested in what we can do with our battery than probably any other individual sector. And that's really without focusing on it. So that there are many, and Rio's project is, I think, just a leading light in this. Let me just see where else we got. Given the rise of certain other graphene-related companies, how quickly can you secure patents and which ones are secured? Great question. So we have a downstream patent fence. Our products are patented or becoming patented with the inclusion of the process, which is a downstream, which is the trade secret production process. We have our battery patent, which is approved. We have our thermal XR patent, which is approved, and we are working on our lubricant patent. So those patents are timely based, as all patents are. So we submitted them all years ago, and they're just going through their process of being reviewed. The job of a patent office is to say no, and our job is to say get a yes. So we're working through them all in that way, and they always say no up front, and then you've got to get them to you've got to realize how amazing the claims are and how they are novel, and then we get to the next stage and we get that outcome. So anyone who's trying to do any patents now in the same claim space as us, where we submitted them years ago, it kind of won't matter if we get ours first, and we believe we're very close to those. We try not to talk about it too much, because the more you talk about them, the more people will try to compete with them. We just want to get them done quietly. Okay. Where are we on the EPA approval process? We've got probably 1 or 2 more meetings left, probably 1 more meeting left, I think I said earlier. So that will give us, we believe, a approval by around December. Does Turquoise Group's process of converting methane into via plasma conflict with Graphene GMG in any way? They're literally located 5-10 minutes away from GMG. No, and we're not too worried about that. We're fully integrated downstream upstream business. Do you have engineering staff co-located at the BIC, and is development already underway at the BIC? Yes, we have, not all the time, but we do have engineering team. Their CEO was just out here this week. We do have staff go over there, and they will rotate in and out as required. How does GMG Graphene compare to Hydrograph Clean Power? I think we've talked about it. There are a range of different ways that you measure graphene. Our graphene does what we do, and it's very, very good at what it does. And so it's why we're using so little. I don't know specifically how it works in terms of every graphene I've ever seen is always different. We bought so many graphenes to try in all our products. We know ours is the best for what we do. That's why we continue using them. Otherwise, we would use others. We wouldn't. We were okay with that because we're obviously a multi-business, multi-segment business. Are there potential partnerships with the US government for advancing energy and defense programs? There are lots of different ways that we can work with US government in various different fashions. We'll be working on next year locating a plant in America. I think that's the end home for our company. And we've already had some looks at different states and different locations, and I think the opportunity to make critical minerals for these really advanced products and battery, I think we know will be attractive for some states. So we'll work through that next year, and also with the US government as well. Do you have any environmental benefit data as compared to lithium, carbon footprint, water consumption? We certainly know power consumption is definitely lower, probably 40% or so on making a lithium-ion battery for ours compared to theirs. The footprint is interesting because you'd have to go and make sure that all the data for lithium-ion batteries is correct before compare. We would know what we're doing. But when we actually go and push this further down the line and get our data out on the performance of our product, we'll definitely be able to come out with that because we already have quite clear environmental data footprint analysis of our own process. We're certainly, it's quite a big parameter of our company. We've been focused on that ever since we started. And so, when we come out with that data, I think we'll find ourselves, quite an advantage. I think the work we've got to do is get there technically as a business operating, and then that comes after. So we've got a couple more. They're still coming in. Has GMG applied for patents for graphene enhanced coolants, graphene enhanced fuels? So we did a lot of work with graphene coolants. We'd actually put a patent in. I think we pulled it. The graphene coolants or polyglycols it's a very messy application. Only about $2 or $3 billion a year of market, and it's very difficult to really show repetitive results. Graphene fuels, very difficult as a fuels engineer prior. Very difficult to distribute the product. You can mix it in and put it in at different gantries for trucks refueling, but we did a lot of work with this, and it does increase the calorific value of the fuel. But we found that just adding it into the graphene, into the engine oil is far better. So that's why we've been focused on G-lubricant, much easier to distribute. People understand it. You put it in, you get a lot better bang for your buck because your engine oil stays there for 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 kilometers, whereas your fuel obviously gets consumed once. And we've got a couple more questions. How was the conversion rate for all of the recent lubricant social media ads? Look, I think a lot of it's probably not as best as you'd expect. It's good, but we're doing a lot of campaigning, awareness campaigning. So we're just building that knowledge and brand awareness so people see it 5, 10 times and they go, yeah, I might buy that now. And also they might buy it or they might recommend it to a friend. So there's a lot of awareness campaigns. So you can't really say exactly what the data is that you're getting compared to, say, someone doing a sports shoe campaign, or because people know what sports shoes are. So we're doing a lot of work on just getting people to understand this is what this product is about, and therefore this is what you can do with it, and therefore one day maybe you can buy it, and then eventually one day. We have had a very good Australia Father's Day campaign. So that went really well. Who knew, right? Is there a date? Will GMG announce next quarterly earnings? I think we'll be coming out shortly with that. CFO's not on the call, but yeah, we definitely are locking that down. Yeah, very nice. Many thanks for answering questions. Very much appreciated. Huge believer in GMG. Last one. What are the top 2 things Mr. Doug Hargraves is being tasked with right now? Yeah, Doug is an amazing human being. Order of Australia Medal, and just recently titled as Engineer of Asia Pacific, not only just Engineer of Australia. He is in detail, and I was in a meeting with yesterday, in detail focused on the lubrication, the next gen testing of the geolubricant, where we're putting sensors throughout engines to test all of the things that we're trying to do. He has a PhD in tribology and also his a lot of work in fluid flow, so thermodynamics. So that's where he's focused on. I want to thank you all. It's 15 minutes past time. Thanks so much for all of your time and also support. I hope I answered some of your questions, or all of them, if I could, and look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Bye.